Hello, horizontal lovers. Today I've decided to treat myself to a pedicure. So I'm here at a resort and spa that I pass every day, Udaya, and it just looks so majestic that today I thought I will treat my toes there, and so I shall. I've been doing a lot of pleasure research here, and it feels good. It's very appropriate to have this heart nest behind me, as what I want to share today is about cutting the cord between yourself and someone who isn't good for you anymore, or someone who you need to release. I had a revelation at the cacao ceremony, which I keep talking about because I love it so very much, but I had a revelation at this ceremony that I need to, if I want this Viking king that I want to call into my life, then I am willing to let go of all of the unavailable men that I have ever loved. And if I'm willing to let go of all the unavailable men that I've ever loved, that means not hovering around their social media. That means not having them hover around mine. And Peter, the man I spoke about in the podcast as a man that I fell in love with when I was in college and didn't get together with until, 12, 15 years later. No, more than that. No, about 15 years later. And then he had broken up with me because he said he wasn't ready, and we got pregnant, and I had an abortion, and all of these things happened and they transpired, and I thought, this is an epic story. It is probably not done. It's probably going to have a different ending, and maybe at some point we'll have our shot at it. But the truth is that in all of these years, he never chose me. He never turned towards me and said, yes, let's do this. Let's embark upon this. It's our time now. And I can't be holding in the back of my heart this idea that someday it's going to be our time. So when we had this exercise and we shared what we wanted to manifest, what we wanted to create in our lives, and what we were willing to let go of in order to have space for it, I spoke about these unavailable men that I've loved. And Peter is one of them, and he's the strongest imprint and the most recent one that left such a deep imprint. So I went home and I wrote to him and I said, I cannot have you hovering around the edges of my life, taking up space that needs to be clear for my man to pass through in order to meet me. So I'm going to remove you from my social media, and I trust that you will understand that it is with love. And I sent that off, and I removed him from my social media, because I cannot have this jolt every time he sends me a little message because of one of my Instagram stories. It's not healthy, and it is taking up bandwidth that I need for my man. So I remembered an exercise that someone did with me called cutting the cord. If you want to do it, you can close your eyes. You can close your eyes, get comfortable in the way that you're sitting, feel good in your body, soften your face, soften your eyes, soften your jaw, relax your shoulders, soften your belly, relax your genitals, let your knees fall heavy. And when you feel relaxed in your seats, imagine this person that you have a tether to that isn't healthy for you anymore. And you can see this tether as a rope, as a beam of light, as a braid, as a tree, as a leaf. Right? You can see it in any way that it materializes. You might think of it from belly button to belly button, or heart to heart. So once you have an idea of what it looks like, how thick it is, what color it is, what material it's made out of, I didn't even know there were helicopters in Bali. Wow. Once you have an idea of what it looks like, what it feels like to be tethered to this person, I hand you a pair of scissors. A knife if you prefer. A pair of scissors does the trick pretty neatly though. And I invite you to imagine cutting this cord that binds you. It doesn't mean that you can no longer feel loving towards them. It doesn't mean that you reject the time that you were together. It just means now you must untether in order to move towards what is moving towards you, in order to self-actualize. I hope there's something here for you. I love you. This is day 19 of my Junglicious 28-day video challenge. I'm gonna go have a pedicure. Wednesday night, new time, 10 p.m. We're gonna talk about how to keep it sexy, how to keep the eroticism going in longer-term relationships with Lady Diana, the erotic blueprints coach and one of my favorite guests of all time. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening.